Good morning, everyone. My name is Esther, and I would like to share my experience with you guys. Today, I wanted to talk about how I met my boyfriend. I feel like a lot has happened throughout the relationship that I always prepared myself for, like a relationship. Like I was like, how to pick men, how the provider and like actions, before a relationship. But I was never prepared for a relationship, which is totally different because I knew how to pick the right man, but I didn't know how to be prepared for a relationship and to look into those, wrong things while in a relationship. So I'm getting ready for church. I already did like a light makeup, so don't judge me if you don't like it. Um, and I just want to do my lips. So, and in the meantime, I wanted to also share the story. So, basically, back in 2024, it was, I think, October, like beginning of October. I posted on Facebook Market that I was renting out one of my rooms. I have a big place, so I was renting out one of my rooms, and I was getting a lot of inquiries. So one morning, I got like a message on Facebook Market saying that this guy saying that I'm interested and I'd like to come see the place, and I was like, oh cool. You know what? He sent his phone number because sometimes I don't get notification from Messenger, so he sent me his phone number and I saw it later on, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna text him, and I just have like a mirror here. Actually, yeah, maybe this will be much better. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna text them and be like, okay, you can come see the place either today or tomorrow. So that was, I think, you know, October beginning, like, second or third. And he responded quickly, like, yeah, I can come today. I was like, okay, that's cool, because I think I was preparing for a trip. I was supposed to go because my birthday just has passed and I wanted to go on a quick trip and I wanted to get somebody, as quick as possible. So I was like, okay, this is perfect. Um, I know I'm probably doing it all wrong, but I usually like do my lips for special occasions. Otherwise, I'll just do like a gloss or something. So yeah, so he came that evening. I was working long hours. I got home like at 8 p.m. and he came here early. So I just like took a quick shower and then I waited for him to get here. So he was already here, and once I got here, I was like, okay, I'll come downstairs to come get you. So I went downstairs. I was chit chatting with the concierge and we were just laughing or whatever. And then he came in and he was smiling. Oh my gosh. First of all, my first impression was, as soon as I opened the door, I saw this giant white man. He was like 6'3", 6'4", and my first thought was like, is he gonna fit in the apartment? Because these condos are so tiny, and my first thought was like, oh my gosh, he's not gonna fit in the condo. Anyways, he came in and he was like, yeah, hi, my name is for the sake of being, we're gonna call him, I don't like Paul. Sorry to all the Pauls. For the sake of being, you're gonna call him, I was about to say his name. Alright, never mind. We're gonna call him River because I'm just looking at the river right now. So, and that's the only thing that's coming. Yeah, and he's like, my name is River, and what's your name? And I was like, yeah, my name is Esther. And I'm like, are you ready to come see the place? He's like, yeah. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go show him the amenities first because I feel like that sells hard. And then after that, I can show him the apartment. So we went to the amenities and I showed him around, the gym, the, other stuff, blah blah blah. And the whole time I was talking, he was just like, not staring, but he was like mesmerized or whatever. He was just like, and I just kept talking and talking. I was like, okay, fine. And then after that, I brought him to the apartment, and I was like, yeah, this is your place. I mean, the apartment, it's not huge, but it's also not small. So for me, I just kept thinking, is he gonna fit in there? He's gigantic. So, and when I show him the place, he didn't even look. He just like opened the door, and that was it. He just like peeked. Okay, I was like, fine. I like, maybe he already saw the pictures and he just wanted to confirm, whatever. Because I know if it was me or a girl, I'll be measuring and making sure my bed is gonna fit in there. Actually, no, I'm not bed in there. I'll just make sure that the closet is, whatever inside. And then after that, we went back to the living room, and I offered him water. And he was like, yeah, I was drinking a lot of water, by the way. He was drinking so much water. And I was like, do you want more? And he's like, yeah, sure. But then I was like, okay, do you have any questions? Like, are you interested? Like, what's your, what are you thinking? Then he's like, yeah, I really like the place and I want to take it right away. And I was like, okay, well, I'll need this, and that. And I was like, yeah, sure, I can get that for you maybe tomorrow or something like that, And I was like, okay, fine. And in my mind, I was like, okay, we're done here. And then he just stood there. That was creepy. I just worked 12 hours and I wanted to go to bed, get some food, and just go to bed, not be here with you, sir, standing here. Anyways, he was just standing there, and I was like, yeah, do you have any questions? And he's like, no. And I was like, okay. And I felt the need to fill the void, and I just kept talking and talking. Which now I'm learning that if there is a silence, you don't really need to fill the void. You can just stay in that silence and get all the weeds in, because it's not your job to fill the void, Anyways, okay. Yeah, so I was like, okay, well, if you don't have any questions, I'll send you an email with what I need from you, like all the document that I require from you. Okay, I feel like I'm doing that wrong too, but... And he's like, yeah, for sure. And he's like, what are you doing right now? I'm like, I just finished work and I'm very tired. And he's like, oh, do you want to go grab dinner? And I was like, no. I was like, I don't know who you are. I'm actually tired, and I just want to go to bed. I don't... He's like, you're not gonna eat? I'm like, yeah, no. I was starving. And I was like, no, I'm good, don't worry about it. Just text me tomorrow, let me know what you got, and we can go from there. And he's like, are you sure you don't want to go for dinner? I'm like, no. And for me, that was a bit weird, because the culture here where I live is random people don't even... I think it depends on settings, if it's a restaurant or a lounge where it's a setting where you should be meeting people, then I feel like it's, the etiquette is normal, because you're at the bar, you're trying to mingle, not like everybody mingles at the bar. But meeting people randomly on the street or in the wrong settings and inviting somebody, it's very different than being from back home, because I feel like where I'm from, the church, on the street. For real. So I was like, no, I'm good. I have to be up early tomorrow anyways for work. And he's like, oh, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. We literally stood there for an hour, and I had my friend checking up on me, like, is everything okay? You've been talking to that man for forever. And I was like, I know. And I was like, no, I'm fine. I just have to get rid of him at this point. It was weird for me that he just stood there, but then I was like, maybe he didn't know how to speak the language. He probably wanted to talk, but he just didn't know how to talk, because his English was a bit he had a lack of vocabularies, he was just like, yes, no, I'm good, short words, I guess. So I was like, okay, well, I guess let's just keep in touch, and I'm very tired, I just gotta go. He's like, oh yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, we're gonna just, text. I was like, you have my number. You can text me. Let me know, okay? And he's like, yeah, sure. I'll text you. And I was like, okay. Then when he left, I don't remember if he texted me, but I know the next morning he did text me, and I was at work. I was working with my best friend, my work best friend. I mean, she's my best friend now. So I was working with my friend. And he's like, hey, thank you for, meeting me yesterday or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm not sure about the accuracy of the messages, but that's just by memory, because I didn't check the messages. I'll go back and check just to make sure. And then he's like, yeah, and he's like, oh, are you, are you free today or something? And I was like, no, I'm actually working. And he's like, okay, oh, I'm so sorry. He's like, when is your day off? And I was like, I'm actually off. Okay, much better. He's like, yeah. Let me know when you're off, and we can, like, do something. And for me, that was weird because I'm like, I don't know you. You want to invite me like on a date or something? Anyways, I directly told my friend, I was like, hey, girl, this guy, I met him last night to see a place, and now he wants to invite me out. And she's like, oh, why don't you go? And I'm like, are you crazy? First of all, I just met him last night, and second of all, he was a bit weird. And then I was like, I'm not interested in actually going on a date. Like, that period in my life last year, it was just like I was in a break. I was in a mental break for anyone, really, friends, family, men. I was like, I'm on a break and I ain't got time for this. Okay. And she's like, just go, just, you're not doing anything tomorrow. And then I was like, okay, so what are we gonna do? And he's like, oh, can you guess? I'm like, no, I ain't guessing. And then he's like, oh yeah, just something fun. And I was like, what is it? Like, hiking? I don't know, girl. I like hiking, so it's fun for me. And then he didn't tell me. So I gave, because I already had his ID, so I gave my friend his ID. I was like, hey, in case I'm abducted and sold by a white man, just FYI, it's this white man. Although after that I realized that people do make fake IDs, so jokes on me. So he ended up, the next day in the morning, he picked me up with his truck, which was weird. Not weird, weird. It's just because I don't really see a lot of people picking up like girls for a date on a truck. Although it's fine, because I think I've had a guy pick me up in a truck that was really, really fancy. I guess it was a contractor. So in my mind I was like, well, maybe he's a contractor or whatever. So he picked me up and we started driving, and we went to like another city, which is not far from the city. It was like 20 to 30 minute drive, and then I saw there was an indoor skydiving. I was like, oh, fun. Anyways, we went in. It was really nice. I really had fun. I was like, well, at least I came and I did. And then we ended up getting dinner, which was really, really cute. And we were just talking, I like the fact that he wasn't asking too many questions. Like, sometimes people ask you questions. Like, and I don't mean like to get to know you, like questions like a detective. Like, what do you do? Where are you? Did you drink water last night? Anyways, it wasn't like that. It was more like conversational, so that's what I like. And then after that, he dropped me at home. Actually, he didn't want to drop me at home. I was like, you have to drop me at home. Yeah, because it was like we met at 3 p.m. No, it was earlier than that actually. Yeah, it was like morning. I'll say like maybe before noon or so. And then we went to the skydiving, and then we went for dinner, and it was like 9 p.m. And I was like, I'm spending the whole day with you, like, what is this? Anyways, I was like, you have to drop me home. And he ended up dropping me home, and I was like, okay, thank you, blah blah blah. And then I forgot to explain the first part. When he came to pick me up, he came to open the door, and it's not like I'm not used to it, it's just like I was confused, so bear with me here. So when he came around to like open the door, I hugged him. I don't know why. I wasn't mentally prepared for that, opening the door. So he thought that I was going to hug him, but it was just like, when you're socially awkward and you don't know what to do in a situation. Yeah, that was my bad. So at the end of the night when he dropped me, he also came to open the door again. And I was like, okay, I guess he's the guy who opens doors. I was like, okay, fine. Well, I was like, okay. That was within 2 days that we met each other. And like, from me meeting him at that time, he looked like very innocent, because we also have a difference of age and culture and everything. As I mentioned, he's white and I'm black, and he was younger and I was older, although I look cute. So there is a lot that have unfolded from me meeting him from last year October to this year August. We're in August, yeah. Actually, we're in September, and yeah, we were already September. And from me meeting him for just 2 days, it was very, very romantic, very, very nice and cute. Do you think that the first day should have been a red flag, or the second day, like him being very like, wanting like to be weird and stuff. That's my alarm. Alexa, stop. Yeah. So because from those 2 days when I reflect on it until now that he actually like was arrested